The Gauntlet of Shah. I can't believe it. I can't believe we found the Dark Lady's sacred crucible. Overwhelming. Worship of Lady Shah is usually discreet by nature. Her holy sites have to be modest, well hidden. But that place... I never knew such grandeur had been built in her honor. I know. I can scarcely believe it's real. But I saw it with my own eyes. Felt the polished stone walls raised in Lady Shah's honor. Normally, it would not be for me to pursue becoming a Dark Justiciar without a superior's command. But this is different. My lady wanted me to find this place. I know it. The Gauntlet of Shah is no ordinary temple. It is the highest test of the Dark Lady's faithful, to judge if they are worthy of becoming a Dark Justiciar. The Gauntlet has double meaning. It speaks of the ordeals to be overcome, and of the armor-clad fist of Lady Shah that would embrace the worthy. Survive the crushing gauntlet, and be embraced by the Night Singer at its very core. The old ways were lost over time. Now some claim the rank simply by killing a single Selûnite. But before, they were a true elite. Many would attempt the trials, but few would succeed.
This temple certainly is grand. Well, it's a rundown bearing the weight of centuries sort of grand, which is my favorite kind, incidentally.
Something in the air down here. It's like this place wants to be forgotten.
Shah's domain indeed. Despair and discarded memories lurking in every shadow.
Shah's spirit lingers here. The air's thick with lies and trickery.
I feel the weave growing more distant by the moment. We walk Shah's path now. Best we don't spend too long in her shadow.
A temple dedicated to Shah. More than a temple, perhaps. A proving ground. This must be where Ketheric Thorm grew his dark-cloaked ranks. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is.
You do not belong here.
Your mind upends. Somehow, in the decayed soup of this creature's brain, a tadpole lives. Another presence nurtures it, manipulates it like a puppet.
No, you do not belong. This is the Dark Lady's house. She is no use for old, faithless bones.
You plunder. You meddle. You upset my plans. Leave. I am their creator. I saved them from life. From death. From their skin and their flesh. Now they serve me. Leave before... Stupid worm-infested cockhead! You have awoken the shadows! My forces are split. The defenses are thin. Rally on me. A wall of bone and blade against the darkness. Now!
What's this? Fresh entertainment? But you're too fresh for this place, aren't you? There's a whiff of the surface to you.
Holy shit, an Orthon. Powerful devils. I wouldn't get on their bad side without a good reason.
You, tiefling. You've got the stench of the hells about you, the stench of home, and a whiff of the surface besides. A servant of Zariel, if I'm not mistaken. I'd know the stench of her infernal machinery anywhere.
What do you know of infernal machinery?
Only what I can smell. And whatever engine burns within you is grinding to an inevitable explosion. Burning and fear. You reek with it. There's something else, almost hidden by your fear stink. Cherries. Musk. And sulfur. Raphael! I can smell him all over you! Where is he? That perfume trickster swindled me. Trapped me! Where is he? Spit it out. Now!
What are you doing? The devil told us to kill this thing, so let's stop chatting and kill it!
Bargaining, are you? A Karator warlord once tried the same. I made him watch as I ate his concubines in young, then fashioned a codpiece from his skull. You can't help. It's not just walls that keep me here. Not the traps, the dark, or the creatures it hides. Something stronger holds me. A contract. Either I fulfill the contract, die trying, or forfeit my freedom. If I leave this place now, I'll become Raphael's slave. Maybe you'll find a crossbow bolt down your throat easier to manage. Raphael is no foolish story devil. His mind is different, sneaky. Listen. Spill all the blood sworn to the night. Silence all prayers. Smother each rite. Wander Shah's halls, hungry to slay. Leave no justiciar alive to obey. Leave none to hear it, then be set free. This song is your oath. Swear it to me. Ah!
Well, that explains where all the Dark Justiciars went. This song differs from others you've studied. The final couplet contains a trick, a clause not easily fulfilled.
That's it.
So he's the one who slaughtered the Justiciars. Can we kill him now? Because if he doesn't die, then Raphael won't tell me a damn thing about my scars.
Asking why doesn't get me paid. Hunting and killing does. Raphael mentioned something about an Asima. Meant nothing to me. I did my part. I filled these halls with ghosts. But Raphael's playing some other game. One that involves stiffing me. Anyway, enough prattle. The lyrics are clear. All who hear the song must die. Time to die. The Merigons. They barely have a thought to share among themselves. But they do have ears. Kill yourselves. Back to the hells with you. I still hear it. Seems your theory is wrong. Kill Nessa. Stay very still. My beauty. I still hear it! If you're wrong about this, I'll claw my way out of Avernus and eat you alive. Contract be damned! Nicely played, Raphael. Bastard.
Does that count as us killing him? That had better count. Gods, you're beautiful. The Orthon is nothing. I'll have my satisfaction when Raphael makes good on his word. In an old pair of boots, in an abandoned outhouse, in my own bedroll. The devil turns up where it pleases him, but we're bound to run into him soon.
A well-chewed spider carcass oozes on the ground. Fresh bite marks, an old puncture wound, and a faint pulse of something not entirely natural. The meat is oozing, but not with blood. It's been dosed with a potion. The teeth of the predator are curved, pointed, and have sunk in deep. Some sort of feline. Sulfur, decay, and a thin whiff of something unexpectedly fragrant.
Unworthy. Unworthy to walk among friendly bones. Leave! Talking of you, intruder, invader, unworthy one. These halls are not for you.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? It returns to the hells, to the very point where it last stood before venturing to whichever devil-forsaken plane it died on. In the case of our friend Yrgir, the Orthon you so handily dispatched in the Temple of Shah, he manifested in my House of Hope. He returned to me chastened but intact, his wounds healed, his body restored. He thought I would dismember him, but he has his uses, so instead I am re-educating him.
We delivered the devil. Now I want what I'm owed. We had a deal.
Indeed we did. I discovered all there is to know about those scars of yours. It's a rather grim tale. Even for my tastes.
Even if I wanted to walk away from all of this, I can't. Cazador won't let me.
And why would he want to walk away? This is his destiny. Carved into that ivory skin of yours is one part of an infernal contract between the archdevil Mephistopheles and your former master, Cazador Zar. In full, the contract states that Cazador will be granted knowledge of an infernal ritual so vile it has never been performed. The rite of profane ascension. It promises to be a marvelous ceremony, very elaborate, incredibly ancient, and entirely diabolical. If he completes the rite, he will become a new kind of being, the Vampire Ascendant. All the strengths of his vampiric form will be amplified, and alongside them he will enjoy the luxuries of the living. The arousals and appetites of man will return to him, and unlike Astarion, he will have no need of a parasite to protect him from the sun. But the ritual has its price, as all worthwhile things do. Lord Cazador will need to sacrifice a number of souls, including all of his vampiric spawn, if he is to ascend. Imagine how he felt then, when one of those precious spawns simply disappeared into thin air. The only missing ingredient is Astarion. You are the final piece he requires to complete the ritual. Your scars bind you to it. Your soul will set off a very wave of death, bringing Cazador his twisted life. And that, my tragic and toothsome friend, is that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business elsewhere.
Do you think it's so simple? The end of my life amongst them, just when I was starting to enjoy it. He'll never leave me alone. I didn't think he would when I was just one more wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to this power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him. And I need you to help me. Thank you.
Our very own vampire's the missing pawn in his master's deadly game. Now, how about we go and reverse Cazador's fortunes?
It seems like Cazador used Astarion's flesh not as a canvas, but as a contract. We haven't heard the last of this, I'll wager.
I can't imagine how Astarion must be feeling. The terms of your own condemnation carved into your skin. A monster's actions. And monsters do not deserve such power as that ritual promised. When the time comes, Astarion will have his revenge, I'm sure. And it will be richly deserved. But not yet. So, what can I do for you?
Wish I could say I was surprised about Cazador's pact. Where blood, death, and betrayal parade, you can bet your ass a devil is riding Grand Marshal. We're going to keep Astarion safe. On my life, Cazador won't touch him.
Hey, you. I made it. Easy peasy. You find Mum and Pops? No. No. I don't believe you. They'd never leave me. They promised. Get away from me. Go!
Hurry inside, or your racket is liable to. Rancid donkey scrotum! The quakes herald the shadows. It's already too late.
Ah, the interloper. And in one piece as well. Not just any true soul would have succeeded in following my path through this place. You should be pleased. General Thorm? Rubbish. Everything is at hand here.
Zrel merely envies the General's faith in me. I am in the midst of a grand strategy. But you're here now, and I may be able to put those limbs to work. You know what's at stake here, I take it.
You remember an ancient scroll rescued from an Amcathran monastery. It spoke of Balthazar, the monastic order's leader. Specifically, it recorded his death.
He didn't seem very legendary when I took his name. Naught but a pile of bones. Impressive tomb, though. But enough idle chatter. Keep to the matter at hand. You do know what's at stake here, yes? There is a relic here, one which General Thorm desires. No, needs. I will retrieve it for him, and you will help me. Ignorant you may be, you've shown some prowess in scouting and combat by making it this far. Fine, if it'll spare me your bleating. The relic lends the General his strength, his invulnerability. It must be recovered before his enemies attempt to exploit it. I do not need you or your help, but you are here in spite of that, so I may as well make use of you. The relic is close, but the way is barred and Shah's dead are uncooperative. Clear the path for me by blade, cunning, or whatever it takes. I will remain here until you have succeeded. Or fallen. The devil is of no relevance to my goal. Besides, it seems you handled him well enough. I no longer hear that blasted singing of his. Perhaps I will seek out his carcass, should I be afforded the opportunity. Surely there are some parts I could put to use. My creations need tending to. Not that it's any of your concern. This one's broken. He once tormented me as a youth, lifetimes ago. Now he serves me forever. No rest for you yet, Mikan. You will serve me until I am satisfied. This is not a problem. It is an opportunity. And it is not a choice either. You will obey.
My head's too full. It wants to burst. This is your fault. You slew my kin. Fiend. Blood spiller. Unworthy wretch. Attack one, and you make foes of all! Very ordinary, but one of many. Leave us be, or we'll gnaw your rotten bones in the dark. You make my head ache. You make me miss things I never had.
I'm not imagining it, am I? These rats' grasp of language seems to be improving.
I mourn them. I mourn me. It's your fault. You filled my skull full of pain and dead men's faces.
On the altar is an inscription. Brave the gauntlet of your Lady Shah, surmount her trials, and rise a dark justiciar.
The Gauntlet of Shah. This place is legendary. Even with half my memories locked away, I still remember the stories. The Dark Lady's finest warriors arose from this place. Now I'm here. In order to join Lady Shah's elite, you had to pass her trials, then make a sacrifice in her innermost sanctum. One revealed only when you've proven yourself. Very few made it that far. I've dreamed of this place. This is my destiny. I must complete the trials. You know me better than most, but I need to find out if I'm worthy. If I prove myself to Lady Shah, she'll bless me with power. Power we can use to take on the Absolute and rid ourselves of these parasites once and for all. Let's explore.
The bowl contains an ancient rust-colored bloodstain. It forms a neat disc, as if spilled calmly and willingly.
This is one of Lady Shah's trials. Allow me. It's important. Sorry. Was lost in thought. Something the matter? I don't fully know. Just a nagging feeling. Almost like I'm conflicted about something, but I don't quite know what. It's nothing. Forget it. Too much time in my own head.
I don't believe it. They can't be.
Breathe, child. Resist not the winds of change. Let them carry thee.
No. No!
Listen. Dost thou not hear it? Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets midnight, the root of all being. Balance.
They're dead. I can't. Balance.
Your very soul is tangled in shadow. Arabella's magic, wild as cursed briar. Her talent is now yours too.
The girl must learn the ways of the arcane, but she shan't remain here. Arabella holds a power beyond reckoning, that of the decaying forest and the seedling that bore it. But it is unbalanced. Her yoke is already heavy. If she walks thy path, it will surely break. Arabella will depart once thou dost leave these accursed lands. She will find her way safely. Thus, it is fated.
Bowman, you're making me leave.
Fear not, girl. The weave knows thy purpose. It will guide thee, if thou dost listen.
You feel her grief fade as if it were your own. There is a lightness in her now, veiling the power within, soothing it.
Is that my future? Is that why they died?
It is.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Bowman, for being nice. If there are people like you around, perhaps everything will be all right. If Bowman says I'll be all right, I'll be all right. I wish it was different. I wish Mum and Pops was here. I don't feel so strong. Or anything, really. Just tired.
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear? Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble, a little reclusive perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if you perform the ritual there. It feels too public. It'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? I hope so. Because I am not striking another deal with Raphael. Who knows what he'd demand this time. But if the citizens of Baldur's Gate don't know anything, my brothers and sisters might. Cazador is a master of secrets, but the other spawn must have seen something.
Full-fledged vampires are not so easily slain. Astarian's master will be no exception. Fortunate for him, slaying monstrous fanatics is a pastime of ours.
May the darkness protect you. Is that so? Well, I hope you don't intend to make such a claim without some evidence to support it. True prayer needs peace, and serenity has proved elusive of late. I'll admit it. Staying true to Lady Shah has proved difficult at times. I found that my mind is prone to wandering to places I shouldn't go at that. Forbidden thoughts, hidden memories, all that Lady Shah would shield me from until I am ready. Sometimes it feels like there's something just out of reach. Some truth on the tip of my tongue. And at times, I feel like I can almost voice it. When I shared the memory from my childhood, you found it far too easy to make a connection to Selûne for my liking. I've always felt like I owed Lady Shah my life. But what came before? Why was I in those woods? Nothing is simple anymore. Sometimes it feels like all I have are doubts. The Mother Superior must have had a reason to deny me the chance to become a Dark Justiciar. Perhaps this is the reason. Perhaps I'm simply not worthy. Forget I ever said anything. I'm just indulging in thoughts best buried. This must be the last step. I need to pray. Only by Lady Shah's grace did we even make it this far. All right. No need to dash in ahead of me. I'm ready. Some prayers are answered more quickly than others. Let's continue. Lady Shah. I can feel her all around. This is her domain. This is the Shadowfell.
I have felt you coming. The first in a century.
You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart.
Not a dagger, a spear. My Lady Shah's spear. Her fate is mine to seal. Let me handle this.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a Dark Justiciar is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you. And there is much she does not tell you.
a terrible blood price that may extend beyond my own death.
You feel Shadowheart bristling. This is important to her. But your bond is strong. You may yet be able to sway her from the path of duty to the path of light. And Nightsong is not blind to your conflict. Behind that raging heart is the restless beat of one who knows too well that her fate hangs in the balance.
Cannot allow! This is my mistress's will, my life's purpose! I can't believe I did that. Shah will disown me. Now I'm truly lost.
You were already lost, little warrior. A lost child, frightened by wolves.
What did you say?
Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite Sharon. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Our Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Selûne, mother of the so-called Night Song. The Night Song is no more! I am resplendent. You have given me a great gift, little warrior. Don't you find it oh so curious that you would spurn your dark lady? Perhaps you feel a stirring of the truth already. But that will come later. There is a battle yet to be fought. You have done what we feared was impossible. You have released me from a century of sorrow. Your power is great. So too must be your weapon. You must choose what you will wield. And the Moon Maiden will provide. Thus I have said. Thus will it be so. Are you ready? To kill Ketheric Thorm.
We need to leave. Lady Shah won't stand for us to be here, not after what we did. That's what frightens me. She must be angry. Yet, I don't feel it. Or hear it. There's only silence. Let's get out of here, please. Whatever's coming, I don't want to be in the heart of the Shadowfell when it finds me. The Night Song will be headed for Moonrise Towers. We'd better get there and see what she's unleashed against Ketheric Thorm. I thought I was done for. I thought perhaps I might have been dead. This is all like some sort of terrible dream. But it's real, isn't it? I stood before the night song. I heard Lady Shah's words. And I failed her. Worse than failed her, I defied her. Just because of what that Asimar said. I tried to leave, but Shah blocked me. Punished me for failing her. I thought I knew the limit of pain that the incurable wound could inflict, but I had no idea. It felt like I was suffering the agony of 1,000 people all at once. My blood was boiling, my hair was on fire. I thought I'd claw my own face off with the pain. But then she released me. Banished me, more like. She said I was an outcast. That all of her children would know me and revile me.
Shadowheart looks distraught, abandoned by her goddess and all former allies. And as for her divine magic, admitting who empowers her now may break her spirit for good.
You're lucky to have such confidence. Me. I think the full price of what I've done has yet to reveal itself. I'm a target to Lady Shah's followers now. Nightsong promised she'd tell me something about myself. I need to speak with her as soon as I can. What she said to me back in the Shadowfell about the wolves, that's no coincidence. She took flight to hunt down Ketheric Thorm. All I can do is help hasten his demise, and hope that answers soon follow. Do you really need to ask? I'm sorry. I have a lot on my mind. The Shadowfell, Nightsong. I can think of little else. That's not the first time you've made such a leap. But perhaps there's more to it than I know, or would care to admit. The sooner I speak to Nightsong, the sooner I'll know what the future holds for me. Assuming I have a future at all.
Unshackled from shadows, she will rise in moonlit glory and carve a path of brightness to the accursed one's second death. So saith the wise Alondo. That beacon of angelic wrath has taken the fight to Ketheric on the rooftop, and the first line of defense are dead. But storming the tower won't be easy, and if we wait too long, Ketheric will gather his strength and retaliate. For now, though, he's on the back foot for the first time since he returned from the grave. This is it. The spearhead moment. You brought us this far. So how shall we proceed? A sound strategy. Once it's done, me and my Harpers will hold the ground floor while you hunt down the General himself. Floric left some of her flaming fist. They'll scout the prisons and the barracks below to ensure we're not taken by surprise. Say the word, and we're off. I'm touched, but I'm already spoken for. Very well. Side by side we'll stand, as we'll rip true souls from a false god. As good a prophecy as any. At the ready, Harpers! In this light, there will be victory. In this light, we will avenge the fallen! The time has come. Ketheric will taste of death at last.
You dare show yourself here after all you've done? You have betrayed me. You have betrayed General Thorm. You have betrayed our god! And for what? These harpers. Moonrise will be their tomb, and in death, you will all serve the Absolute. Where's the fun in that? Boys, make this traitor bleed.
You. What have you done? What have you done to me? There is no redemption, can't you see? It is too late. If Melodia could see all I've done, she'd know. She'd know her husband died long ago with Isabel. Unlike Isabel, he could not be brought back. I wish it could be so. I do. But the Moon Maiden did not intervene when my life was dismantled piece by piece. And when I tried to buy it back, it cost me everything. Everything. We are copper pieces in their belts. Tokens to be traded for scraps. You have beaten me, true soul. But the gods beat me first.
Ketheric Thorm!
Aelin.
Rise, you dog! Retribution has come, and her sword is my sword. Ha! Ketheric Thorm would sooner die than lay down his rank cause. Isn't that right, General?
I was a fool to hesitate. Power like mine cannot be hidden, cannot be cowed. But power like mine has a price. A price I am destined to pay. You have one last chance to bow. Once it's gone, I'll have no choice but to destroy you both. Do you hear? Bow! The prism. You've had it all this time, you worm. You will bow before me. And if you will not bow, you will break.
He will crumble at the power of your touch. Give him all you have. The gods fight at our side!
Enough. My lord beckons me. You must return to your prison, and my daughter must be reclaimed.
Your daughter? Isabel.
You will fall as sure as she. This has only begun.
The General will call that a tactical retreat, I'm sure. But you have him on the run. That thing he summoned was illithid. Follow it below and find him, before he has a chance to subdue the Night Song again. Better they stay here. and hold the tower should Ketheric's army catch wind of our assault. But if you have room for one lone soldier, I would face Ketheric by your side. Theory and supposition, none of which will help us in the fight to come. Ketheric must die, and the Absolute with him. We will work out the details as they rear their ugly heads. If our luck holds, they won't need to. If it doesn't, well, they are Harpers. Being outnumbered is part of the job. But the sooner we reach Ketheric and rob his army of their reason to fight, the better. Lead and I follow, Commander.
The hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This is an Illithid colony. This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
This place brings back the worst memories. It's like being kidnapped all over again.
A Gaith colony. Or something close to it. You'll find no place more repellent in all the plains.
Of course Thorm would flee to such a repellent, unnatural place. Let us put an end to him and get out of here.
Fascinating as our surroundings are, we must press on. If our runaway general is down here, the heart of the Absolute will be too.
We're in decidedly unfamiliar territory now. Keep up the pressure and stay alert. We need to find Thorm.
If you feel you are being watched, take comfort. That is only because you are. The colony knows we are here. Already I can hear the whispers. Just sweet nothings for now. It tests me. Wants to know why I do not carry a tadpole. As you do. A colony is a sentience, comprised of the collective. For anything outside of that collective, assimilation or annihilation. If it tries to dominate me, turn me against you, well, I have seen you fight. I'm sure you'll be fine.
This place is an Illithid stronghold. Let's finish what we came here to do and get out.
Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet Illithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
Gaith machinery. Cold as the sea of night, alien as time to the astral plane. Avert your eyes, close your mind.
Hells. I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you.
Zevlor.
Watching gods. The Blade of Frontiers. Will? What happened?
I paid the price of angering the wrong devil.
And shouldered the cost to spare someone else a worse fate, I'd wager. I owe you an explanation. Much more than that. But first, please, the others, the ambush. Tell me they survived? Somehow I suspect it's worse even than you imagine. Likely you heard that I broke, or froze, or some other lie kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power,
everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. Until I realized what I'd done. Perhaps I fought. I don't recall. Either way, I was deemed unworthy of becoming a true soul. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends. But I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketheric is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. They have you. Go, my friend. Please, let me do this much.
Mazora, you're Zariel's asset.
My dumb little stinker. Took you long enough. Now, by Grazit's cock, get me out of this thing!
I'll do it, and you'll set me free. That was the deal.
Yeah. So, get to it already.
The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority. The symbol's meaning comes into focus. Annihilate. You decipher the symbol. It's an illithid sigil, meaning unleash.
You did all right, Will. I'd give your belly a good rub, but never could stand the smell.
You're free, Mazora. I held up my end. Now you hold up yours. Sever the pact.
Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soul-Bearer from all obligation within 6 months.
6 months? Gods damn you!
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Another one? Well, after jumping through all those hoops, a little treat wouldn't hurt. All that power. And to think you want to throw it away. Now, you've got business in the towers to take care of.
Don't you fret. I'll find you soon enough. You're going to need me. Count on it. Oh, and go ahead. Tell your chums how we met. It's a real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
Zariel's asset was none other than Mazora herself. Of course. Tricks on top of tricks on top of tricks. But I've only got 6 months before I'm made a free man. Thanks be to the Triad. No, scratch that. Thanks be to you. First, we kill Ketheric Thorm. Then, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Anything more we should discuss?
Will's devil is a sly little wretch. I'll give her that.
Mizora positively drips with passive-aggressive condescension. I much prefer straightforward condescension. It leaves no chance of being misunderstood.
You'd think I'd have more sympathy for someone trapped in a pod, but perhaps we should have left Mizora where we found her.
Not entirely sure that was a wise decision. Better the devil you know, I suppose. The one Will knows, at least.
Freeing Mizora. I can only hope it is a kindness we do not come to regret.
I had no wish to lose Will, but my, it would have been nice to flush her into the colony's flesh pit.
General Thorm was attacked. The order to evacuate given. You should not be here. I conclude you are one of the attackers. I have no need for a throne. You would merely get in the way. Go on, make yourself useful somewhere. If you cannot manage that, just stay out of the way.
No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective.
A gate thrall. The only way to save it is to kill it.
You could kill it, end its miserable life of enslavement. Surely that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could serve you.
Chop, chop. Help them. Become.
Master. No. Down. Deep. 1 of 3. 1 of 3.
Nursery. Here. They become. Part of one mind. 4 little feet. Dancing. To same song.
With a lurch, you realize he means the intellect devourers. Here, the brains are harvested, made part of the hive mind.
But there is one. Little kitty. Dances. To another song. Same song. As you. Locked up. Bad kitty. Thinks it is. Other. Yes. Yes. Please.
Friend, you found the helm. We remember you well. You saved us once. Perhaps you can do it again? They are not kind to us here. We are different, they say, aberrant. They wish to repurpose us, destroy what they cannot fix. Please, help us escape harm. Oh, thank you. Thank you! You are a good friend. No. More. Rescuer! We are free! Thank you, friend. But perils remain, near and far. Better to stay together. You and us, we will remain with you. Call us, and we will be at your side.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Elder God, she spoke in my dreams. Altar, rooftop, my reward. I brought converts, young souls, for the Absolute. design to see her. It was wrong. No!
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions. No longer a background murmur. The presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Motherfucker! Gortash!
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes. With cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure. Like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I have played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough, but what of the astral prism? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from him.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge, but you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane.
The Lash of Baal!
The Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
Look at that crown. It radiates with power unlike anything I've ever seen. To have it. To hold. Oh, if only I could. But I can't. This is it. I must do as Mystra commands. What choice do I have? More than just a goddess counseled my courage. Whole worlds hang in the balance. I do trust you. More than myself right now. Perhaps even more than Mystra. I have no desire to end your life, you know that. To end it? To struggle on. It is a grave choice you're making for us both. But if it must be so... very well. I'll stand down to stand by you.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Shit, no! Father!
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketheric, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way